Where is it that
with,
we're at? Define what this is. That's us right here. What is it? Where are we?
it's pathetic.
Pathetic. I like that. Why?
Well, for the same reason. They don't think that we are aware of what's going on, and the undermining of things that cost a lot of money, and then, like you say, that there's an election, just throws everything completely off balance. And so we're back to this again, that with if we were talking about Ford, for instance, it's like this. It's not like this anymore.
All right, so
like I don't know what this bell curve. It's not a bell curve.
this doesn't have to be.
Bell and inverted.
This doesn't have to be like. This is an ideal solution. Reality is more like we have some peaks. We have some bigger peaks. We have some consolidation, and then we have another big peak. It's very messy. So.
And there's so much to fight. There's and I don't even like to use the word fight, but there's so much that we have to fight for. Mega quarries, like it just goes on and on and on. Like so, it's water, it's
too
electricity.
many issues. Like it's.
Well, and I'm self-employed. For me to read and be aware of all of these things, and I don't own a television, never have. It's really difficult to try to figure out what is exactly going on. How do I even find out my information? I don't know, but somehow I find out.
All right. Can I say would everybody agree a lack of confidence is a good way to summarize in every. I mean.
We all, like many of us may not know people who work in the electrical industry, but I happen to have people that I know have worked at nuclear plants in providing our electricity, and there is so much money spent inappropriately. You know, so there's this idea that we're the ones that have to buckle down and keep my hydro bill at $200 a billing cycle. I work at that.
You're mad because they blame you for our problem.
Then well,
that
do
you
the
feel
same
they
thing.
created.
Stop spending money having extraordinary lunches or paying this person.
Who's the damn bastard? Is it the industry professionals or is it the politicians?
It's the money.
Oh, one feeds the other. They
I'm
both-
not sure how that works. I'm not sure.
I think we're in an unfortunate situation. On one hand is the government, on the other one is the utility companies, and they have different agendas. Then maybe the government wants to have us low prices, but the companies, the utility companies, they are responsible only for the shareholders, and they don't care if you pay more or less. The CEO has to show profit, if not he's out. So they have a policy that means we have to make money and we don't care how we do it. It's unfortunate because we, the people, we cannot change anything, and the government, I'm not sure they want to. They don't have the power to change.
Unfortunately, as real as that may be, you're the only one that can change it. Only the public can change it. The only thing in common with all those agencies is they have a public interest to serve. We're just not holding their feet to the fire. I'm not blaming us because I get frustrated like you. But if you think they're going to voluntarily change their ways just
they
because
won't.
we have.
No, like today, I was just actually coming from the executive meeting. Has anyone else heard today? Yeah, so Ford's down there, and there were so many people that brought their babies to complain. We all know that childcare was undercut, and like after a few of them made their case, it says on Ford's Twitter now, he's like, no, we're keeping childcare. So we are doing something.
No, but only for the mothers that already have the kids. Not the new mothers that want to put
No, but
the
now
kids.
he knows that it's an issue. Like this time he's actually listening. You know, he said he's like, okay, well this problem will be on the chopping block. So we are making.
But the new mothers will have a problem. That's what they said in the CBC.
All right, so
I was living in a rural area, and there was a hydro. They had the tiniest hydro company, I think, maybe in all of Canada. I don't know. It was pretty small. It was Briceville Hydro. And we paid a lot of money for hydro. And this is going back 12 years ago. And the reason why we paid a lot of hydro was because of the density. The hydro lines, the bell lines, the this, we paid a lot. We paid for our garbage 15 years ago. And so, having had that experience and coming to live in the city, it was actually less expensive for hydro because of the density. But automobile insurance was a lot more money, so you get rid of the car. It's just, given the density, and if you're living in an apartment, in apartments, I just don't understand how it can't be reduced substantially if we're all, if people are living in condominiums or apartments. It just doesn't make any sense that people are spending what rural prices now for their electricity.
I'm just going to take a few people having their hands up a little bit.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I think it's also because of technology. There's so many appliances being invented. Everyone wants to get into the modern world, that the electricity
Who's
usage,
everyone?
like most people in cities want to have all the modern appliances. And I know because I was born in the third world where, most of the inventions come from the first world. So if the third world eventually gets more of these appliances, we will need more electricity in the Philippines, for example. And
Did you
that's
use more
gonna
electricity
become-
there or less electricity there?
It's expensive there too because it's imported. So the idea of getting renewables into third world countries is actually going to be better because it will be local. You don't have to import. And so I blame technology in a way because there's so many appliances that need electricity.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. So, in third world, the Philippines, did you use as much electricity as you use here? Yes or no?
Well, when we went back on vacation, my sister turned on the air conditioner for a month. We were there. She was shocked when she got the bill. She had no idea that the electricity was so expensive.
Okay, so you probably use less. And so the point I was getting at is, did you need a government program to train you on how to use less energy?
No, I don't think there's much talk about conservation there yet.
But yet your sister does exactly what we're asking her to do, and not run her air conditioner unit. She finds other ways to cool, right? She opens up windows so that the breeze goes through the house.
Well, my mom was telling me we should just use electric fans, but my sister's got more money, so when her kids came over, we turned on the air conditioner all day, and then the bill came and she was shocked.
I'd agree with you. The point I wanted to get around to was that I believe you don't teach people anything. So we have, amidst this, energy education, so that we can educate you. The truth is, what we should be doing is providing you a speedometer so that you can educate yourself. There are technologies, I sit on a board of one that has a phone app that's going to come out soon that kind of helps you with tips and tells you what you're really using by digging out some information on your smart meters. But he's doing that self-funded. He raised capital from different people on his own. That was not a government-sponsored initiative. And that disappoints me like you. Should we have that with all our professionals that work in the industry day to day? Don't we think we could come up with something
Well, and the
like that?
meters themselves were faulty.
But what if I told you that the
Like, Ola meters screwed up. The people who installed all of those meters. Like, I was told that, I spoke to the owner. He fessed up at a Christmas party, but they screwed up. They weren't for this climate.
so they kind of rushed into it and made a bad decision? Is that the idea?
A lot of
So government wasn't, what happens when you rush into something? It's government's not prudent.
And money wasted in vain.
All right. I'm just going to shut up here. I saw two more hands, so up here.
Is it a bubble?
Lives in a bubble. Right there, there's a bubble.
But as long as the taxpayers pay, the taxpayers pay any mistakes.
So we keep feeding the
Like
beast, right?
e-health, I mean, the e-health that for some reason, it didn't work and a million disappear or whatever, and it vanished and nobody's accountable. Those people get other jobs, people who make mistakes. I mean, it just goes on and on the list of all the mistakes that happen in the government, and
So what can we do?
life goes on.
All right, well,
So you
I
want
want to talk, go ahead, right here.
When I spoke earlier, you said that we are the only one who can make the change. So I will, please, if you can tell me, how do you think can we change? And Tom, I understand you're in the business too. If you have an opinion about it, how can we, the people, change where the big money is? We cannot change it. We cannot change the government. When we elect any one of them, in the end they'll do the same.
But one thing that is very
One of the
strong-
reasons for putting this up here, they
Yeah.
are not so far apart. But
They'll do the same because they'll all be dependent on the companies who produce energy. And now, if you be so kind and tell me, how do you think we can change?
sorry, can I just make a quick comment? That if they want to go nuclear energy, and if they tell us so many millions are going to be spent, but they normally, traditionally, they always go over the number that the information they give to the community. So that's one way we have to make them accountable. If they tell us, we're going to go nuclear, and how much millions is going to be spent, and not to go over. Because that has been a huge problem.
Okay.
Accountability.
So-
Accountability is.
Accountability. Does everybody agree on that word?
But
How do we hold them accountable? We gotta have a place to start. Otherwise, we're just gonna do the same thing, right? We're just gonna collect more evidence that they're failing at their job. I'd agree with you. So the question is, what problem, what's at the heart of what we wanna solve? What's right there? If we can define what that is, then we can define strategies to get that.
the
Is it
people in
government
position
accountable?
of power have to be people who legitimately care for the citizens.
I don't know if transparency is the right word or not, but why is it that we don't have any kind of undeniable facts on any of these issues and any of these choices? Like, no, seriously, I mean, so we were, if the solution is nuclear, then tell me how much is it going to cost to have nuclear energy for the next 15 years, plus or minus 10%, but not plus or minus 250%.
Yeah.
If someone's going to pay for conservation, well then tell me, am I going to mean that the province is going to need one, less coal plant? Like, give me a value statement that's reasonably verifiable and reasonably confident. Why can't we have that? Like, the facts are there. We've got 85 regulatory, sorry, we don't have 85. We have too many regulators, and they're all doing the same thing as far as I can tell, but nobody's actually giving us any facts.
And if they want to go nuclear, that's the most expensive that exists, the most expensive energy that exists. So how can they convince us that that is the best route to go?
All right, so just not to get lost in the trees, right? So we go back to your question. When inside the Ontario Power Authority, they are responsible for integrated power system planning. It's called IPSP. I sat on that board, or that committee. That committee consisted of, but it was more than a dozen. It was probably less than 2 dozen people. All theoretically experts in their area. And I'll tell you the best we could do is when we created some power system plan that has lots of blocks in it, estimates. And they pigeonholed themselves with a vendor. But if you change this block, all of a sudden this thing went out of bounds and this was inexplicable. And so they had to go back and undo this. And then we changed this box and another bubble will pop out. Point is, they,
Is it?
I'll tell you why
are
we,
saying
to
that-
get your answer, I'll give you 2 words. Market characterization.